Welcome to ScaleUp Radio Shorts. This is your dose of insights brought to you by Smart90, a proven 90-day execution system for scaling your business. I'm Kevin Brent.
And I'm Granger Forson. Today we're doing things a bit differently. We're diving into some of the key lessons and stories from 3 recent interviews on ScaleUp Radio. Catherine Frankpitt of Strike Communications, Danielle Hutchinson from Authors on Mission, and Simon Phillips, the Change Man.
Exactly, Granger. We've had some amazing conversations recently, and we wanted to distill some of the most actionable advice. This episode, we'll be comparing notes, sharing our thoughts, and maybe even challenging each other's perspectives.
So let's get to it. What lessons did you find most compelling across these interviews, Kevin?
Well, to kick us off, I was really struck by Catherine Frankpitt's story, the way she built Strike Communications around her passion for working with impactful organisations.
Absolutely. That really resonates, doesn't it? It's a great reminder that business can and should be about more than just profit. But what specifically stood out to you about Catherine's approach?
For me, it was her honesty about the early days. She said that in year 1, she'd do anything for anyone to get the money into the business. But then in year 2, she started becoming selective, identifying who not to work with. And by year 3, she knew exactly who she loved working with.
That's gold, Kevin. That's such a practical and relatable journey. So many business owners feel that initial pressure to say yes to everything. I think her point of knowing who not to work with is a critical part of the scale-up process.
Precisely. It's about staying true to your mission and values, isn't it? It allows you to focus your energy and resources on the clients and projects that truly align with what you're trying to achieve. Did that chime with you too?
Definitely, Kevin. And that ties nicely into our next guest, Danielle Hutchinson from Authors on Mission. It was interesting to hear about that unique term, angel writing, instead of ghostwriting.
Yeah, I loved the name Authors on Mission. It immediately grabs you. And the angel writing piece, what's your view on that?
To me, this is all about embracing a human touch, especially now with AI becoming so prevalent. That distinction, angel writer versus ghostwriter, highlights how their team really collaborates with authors. It's more than just putting words on paper.
Agreed. It's almost a partnership. What I find fascinating about that interview is Danielle's background, being a teacher, and how that has influenced what she does.
Absolutely. It's not often you meet someone who is still a teacher while also being a chief creative officer.
It's great to hear. Danielle says she still learns so much from all these entrepreneurs and leaders that she gets to work with.
And that emphasis on a human connection, and then add the AI element to it. Fascinating.
Hugely. I was really interested to learn about Authors on Mission embedding personal touches based on what the AI has done. To me, that is so important for the future. You can't just churn out AI content, can you?
No, and I think this is Danielle's real strength. She seems to be at the cutting edge, using AI, but not becoming overwhelmed or taken over by it. Which then links neatly into some of what Simon Phillips had to say around empathy and change.
Yes, Simon Phillips, the change man. He gave a truly insightful interview, so much to think about regarding how we handle change within our organisations. What did you make of it, Granger?
Well, he gave us some real food for thought about helping people get through change. He made it clear that people don't resist change, they resist being changed.
That is such a powerful reframe. It gets you thinking, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's about how change is introduced and managed. It really resonates with me. Did you pick up on the point about empathy?
Very much so. It was great when Simon defined it as the ability to perceive things through the eyes of another. It's not just about sympathy, it's about genuinely understanding someone else's perspective.
It's interesting to hear, his point on self-empathy as well. If you can't be understanding of yourself, how can you expect to do it for those around you?
So true, and it's relevant because Simon was talking about how leadership can affect people through both learning and mistakes. When you put all that together, there are some great ideas. So, Granger, as we reflect on all 3 interviews, what common threads do you see weaving through them?
What struck me, Kevin, is how all 3 guests built their businesses around their passions and values. Catherine's dedication to working with impactful organisations, Danielle's focus on empowering authors, and Simon's commitment to helping people navigate change. That's a powerful foundation.
Absolutely. It really highlights the importance of purpose in business, doesn't it? When you're driven by something bigger than just profit, it resonates with clients and employees alike.
It does. although I noticed that each guest has completely different approaches. Danielle runs a virtual operation, Catherine a smaller agile operation, whereas Simon has some very formalized frameworks for delivering change in larger businesses.
It just goes to show that whatever approach you take, the key is the people in the business. If you have the right people who all buy into the same goals and mission, anything is possible.
I agree, and I think it's also about being adaptable and willing to learn along the way. As Catherine shared, there's a constant need to evolve and refine your approach to meet the changing needs of the market and your clients.
It's been enlightening to revisit these conversations. If I had to summarize, it's build around passion, be clear on your values, get the right people, and then be ready to flex.
Definitely, and I think the big takeaway is that you have to actually walk the walk. It's not enough to talk about your values, you have to embody them in everything you do.
Well, hopefully this episode will inspire all the ScaleUp listeners to do the same. It's about making a difference as a business as well as making profits.
It really is, and those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. Thanks for a fantastic chat, Kevin.
Indeed, there was a lot to take from those conversations.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for tuning into this episode of ScaleUp Radio Shorts.
Remember, if you want to listen to the full interviews with Catherine, Danielle and Simon, you can find them by searching for ScaleUp Radio wherever you get your podcasts.
Until next time, happy scaling!